Hey, I feel like I owe the world a follow-up video. So, my husband made me an appointment to go to a new primary care doctor. And I think the fact that she was a young woman may have saved my life. Because for the first time in a really long time, my pain was not dismissed. I went in there and I told her exactly how I was feeling, and that if this last run of medical interventions yielded as little help as all of the rest of my 39 years of experience with the medical industry, I was planning to look for an overseas euthanasia program. Unfortunately, all of the human euthanasia programs in the US require proof of residency in that state, and you have to be diagnosed with a terminal condition with a lifespan of 6 months or less. So the options for escaping feeling like a wounded animal caged in my own body were limited. I don't want to trigger anyone, so I won't discuss the methodologies that I had considered, but I had about 7 or 8 different methodologies to make sure that no one could intervene in me deciding to escape this body and this experience. What the doctor prescribed me, because my first words were, I refuse to be on opioids. I won't do it. If that's my only option, we're out of fucking options. I've seen people lose their minds, their bodies, everything to opioid addiction. And honestly, when I'm having an autonomic cascade and a fibro flare-up, where it feels like there is literal shrapnel in every single joint, every nerve feels like it's being buzzed by a cattle prod. My brain, the only thing it can process is that I need to escape this experience. And I think many of you who know me know that I've been pretty devout in my meditation practice for a really long time. And I've practiced radical acceptance for most of the things that have happened to me in my life. So for me to get to a point mentally where I was unmasked in my pain, I was unmasked about my opinions about how devastatingly horrid this world is for most of us. I unmasked about being subjected to a medical system that, because I have tits, invalidates every physical experience I've ever conveyed to a doctor. I think unmasking to that degree may have saved my life, because hearing my own narrative and hearing the desperation in my own voice and having people reach out, out of the woodwork who also have chronic disorders that make life feel unlivable, y'all fucking saved me. And I agreed to just take the fucking muscle relaxers that this new doctor gave me. It's like 5 milligrams of Flexerol, which I was like, yeah, it's not gonna do shit. She gave me low-dose amitriptyline, I believe 10 milligrams twice a day. I've been on amitriptyline before for my migraines and never noticed an incremental improvement in my pain. I was like, what? Fuck it. I'll do whatever you want me to, lady. I slept for 4 pain-free hours yesterday. And I haven't been able to get sleep without probably every 10-15 minutes waking up with searing, agonizing pain in all of my joints, especially my hips, for weeks now. My body has been muscularly bracing, largely due to psychological trauma in my recent life. And, you know, I have a degree in, or I have a certification in pranayama, Indian breath work. I have a certification in yoga and meditation. I've done countless hours of DBT therapy, EMDR, other trauma-based modalities. I've taken every psychiatric medication that's ever been prescribed to me. I've been a fucking good girl. I've tried everything that the doctors say will help. It's my own personal research, and you can disagree with me on this. I do check the sources that are cited when I have conversations with Microsoft Copilot, but having a non-biased AI voice to help me sort through what's a real symptom, what's psychosomatic, what these symptoms are indicative of, and why the treatments that have been prescribed and thrown at me my entire life have never worked. I plan to make a video series about all of the recommendations that I've used AI to get. I also plan to make a video series exposing every doctor by name who has minimized my experience, told me that more yoga, or I just need to control my stress, was my problem. Like, I plan on letting you guys know who to avoid out there if you're suffering from chronic, real physiological symptoms. I plan on exposing the doctors who try to tell women that it's all in our minds. I'm not giving up yet, okay? I lived through this experience, and the fact that as soon as the cascade of physical symptoms ceased to be so overbearing and all-encompassing, my mind snapped back into who I actually am. And I've done a lot of research about autonomic dysfunction, central nervous system sensitization, muscle guarding, dysautonomia. And what's disturbing is I didn't tell Copilot anything that I haven't told my doctors. I've been more explicit in my description to my doctors than I have been with these AI conversations. Yet, AI actually caught the patterns that I was describing and fucking validated them. If you've been the zebra in the doctor's chair over and over your whole life, where they're not smart enough to figure out what's going on with you, so they give you a label like somatoform disorder, or, say that it's psychosomatic. My nervous system literally is incapable of regulating itself when it reaches that fever pitch of every cell in my body screaming at me. There's no amount of CBT, DBT, recognizing cognitive distortion, that is going to cut through a nervous system that is telling you that your only option is to fucking press the eject button. My plan and my passion is to try all of the interventions that I can, that I haven't already tried, and come out here and educate everyone about what actually works on this constellation of nervous system disruption. Right now, I'm sitting on the precipice of abject terror that these symptoms are just gonna snap right back into place and my brain and my body will no longer feel my own. But I'm cogent in this moment, so I'm choosing to share all of this with you. My dog decided that he needed to readjust behind me. As you can see, I have not, this makeup's been on since Tuesday, I think. I haven't been able to bend over the sink to wash my face. Anything cold that touches me, which I haven't had a water heater in like 4 years, because despite working full-time, we just fucking can't afford to get it fixed. So I've not had access to warm baths. I have to wash my face with cold water, and cold water touching me puts my entire system into an excitative state of shock. I'm rambling a bit now, but the point of this is honestly just to thank everyone who stuck with me and put up with the severity of my despair, and who's listened to and held space for the anger and the grief that is rising out of this experience. Living in a body that is just a hellscape since my earliest memories as a child. I just hope that I can help someone else before it's too late for them, because it was almost too late for me. I love you, and I thank you for bearing with me and offering the help that you can. Yeah, I think that's it for right now.